because I've been releasing videos, but for the past couple days, I have been dealing with strep throat. So, this is the first night where my throat feels fine whispering. So, I'm back. We're good. I'm on my like fourth day of antibiotics now. And by the time you see this, I will be fully healed. I just got home from work. Our third day, it's my third day of antibiotics. And I just got home from work, which was hellish to return to because I'm just not fully recovered, you know? And I hadn't really eaten a proper meal in 2 days. And so when I got to work today, I just was very low energy and I didn't feel like I was reaching my full potential today. But we're home. It's 12:30 a.m., which is usually around the time I get home, so I'm really excited about today's topic. I've talked about my reason for starting this channel, um, and it's mostly for y'all. Like, I want to provide comfort, um, you know, that whole thing. But it's also an opportunity for me to talk about my interests and things I'm passionate about, um, and kind of opening up more. Not too much. I enjoy privacy, but I do want you guys to get to know me. Um, and one of my favorite things on earth is tonight's topic. So, yeah, if you're not interested in this topic at all, I hope that you can just listen to me and doze off. And yeah, and if you're interested, you might not agree with all my opinions. I'm very opinionated about this topic, so. And I'll probably be looking at my phone to fact check myself. So tonight we're going to be talking about my favorite show of all time, Survivor. Survivor started airing in 2000 on CBS, hosted by the lovely Jeff Probst. It's consistently ranked as like one of the greatest shows of all time. I think it's probably the most iconic reality show of all time. Everyone's heard of it. I've never met someone who's never heard of it. Actually, I have, but they're like way, way older than me. There are people that don't watch television or don't have televisions. Everybody in my life knows about it, especially because I talk about it all the time. To a compulsive, obsessive degree, probably. If I'm ever in a relationship, they're gonna have to watch it with me every Wednesday. I race home from work to watch it, or I used to race, like, not race home, but because it's on at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. But the reason, okay, I'm gonna go off on so many tangents, y'all. You know me. But, okay, so the reason I'm doing this, well, one is because I want to share this part of my life with you guys and my interests, but also, the 48th season premieres Wednesday, February 26th. Today's the 23rd. It's currently Sunday when I film this. And in honor of that, I wanted to make this. Also, I just read a really awesome news article today about the 50th season, which will be on next year. There's 2 seasons a year, one in the fall and one in the spring. And so next spring, there'll be Survivor 50. So 26 years. Um, because I think during the pandemic they didn't make a couple seasons, so it's like a year. It's like a year behind. And then there was only one season originally. And then they decided to start doing two a year, which I find to be an incredible structure because people don't have to wait too long to see another season, which I think is really cool. But yeah, they announced that the 50th season is going to be a special season where fans can vote to basically have a say in the twists and stuff like that. One of my least favorite twists that's been was introduced in Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. I guess this is a spoiler. There will probably be spoilers in this video. But that season introduced the Final Four Fire Making Challenge, which basically gives people who have a 100% chance of going home to a 50% chance of going home. So it raises their odds, but fans don't like this twist. Die-hard fans. I shouldn't say all fans, because there's probably people, newer fans, that like it, who just think it's normal. But it's not normal. It's abhorrent and despicable, and I hate it. But that's coming from a die-hard fan, and I'm sorry, Miss Fridge just turned on and she's making ice or something, so sorry if you can hear that. But yeah, so you can vote. I think it starts on Wednesday, and fans can vote, and I'm kind of trying to rally the troops to have that abolished. And I hope they go back to having a final two instead of a final three. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about the mechanics of the game. Some people watch it for the strategic elements, some people watch it for the physical challenges, some people watch it for the backstabbing, the drama, some people watch it for the romance. It's a really interesting social game. So, all different sorts of people are on the show. All different sorts of people have won the show. The most unexpected people who at the beginning of the season you're like, oh, this person has no shot. Underdogs win. Half the time, I'd say. People you would never expect to win. Oh my god, there's so many good, so many iconic people. Celebrities have been on the show. Tosh from Sisters with Voices was on Token Jeans. Mike White, the director and creator of The White Lotus, he was on, I think he was on David versus Goliath. He was really good. Who else? Basketball players, baseball players, wrestlers, athletes have been on it because it's such like a huge deal. It's a like people really like to test themselves and see to what extremes their bodies can handle. And I think that's another cool facet of the game. I personally think the game has gotten slightly easier. They don't focus on survival elements as much anymore. I think it would be cool to see them go back to basics. You know, no idols, no. Like, marooning would be fun. They did that on Pearl Islands. And Game Changers, I think, too. But I'll talk about that more. I will probably turn this into a series where I rewatch seasons and talk about those seasons. I mean, there's now 48, going to be 48 seasons, so it'll last me a while. But yeah, this is going to be a new series. I'm just deciding that now. So I hope there's some Survivor fans. I hope there's an intersection between Survivor and ASMR, because I don't think I've watched any Survivor ASMR videos. But I guess I'll light that torch. No pun intended. But yeah, so my I'll go into my history with Survivor. I've never met anybody on the show, although I would literally chop off my arm to meet someone from Survivor. Um, I just got out of the rain, so my hair's really frizzy. But yeah, I've seen every season at least twice. I rewatch it all the time. It's one of the only shows I can rewatch. I don't know why. That's just how it is. My two favorite TV shows take place on islands. And I think why it's resonated with me so much is it's like helped me in hard times. Just like seeing people's struggles and like what they overcome in the game can be really inspiring. And I remember watching it as a little kid with my parents, and then um, when I was in middle school, I got really into it. And then every Christmas, back before streaming was so accessible, I'd ask for Survivor seasons on DVD. And we would literally, my siblings and I would literally spend all night watching it. We would finish the season in like 2 days. The day, Christmas night, and the day after Christmas. So Survivor's kind of a big Christmas thing for me. I always watch it on Christmas now. I go back and watch my favorite seasons. But there's nothing like watching a Survivor season for the first time. It's just electric. Getting introduced to so many great people, and then people that are absolutely horrible but so fun to watch. And it can be really funny sometimes. It can be really sad sometimes. Um, yeah, it's just a really versatile show. It has so much to offer. I really can't compliment it enough. Some seasons are pretty bad, I will say, but overall, I love watching it. Like, if I could only watch one thing for the rest of my life, I would instantly choose that. It has such good rewatch value. So, now I'll just talk about. So, yeah, it really is important to me and is like part of who I am. I've never, I think I applied once, but never heard back, which is fine. I think sometimes superfans can either be really good at the game or really bad. I think I would be okay. Uh, yeah, I think I'd be okay. I don't know if I would win, but I could probably do pretty good. I'm good at making friends, and that's a key element to the game. Well, some people's games. So let's just talk about uh, the format and general rules and stuff. So Survivor takes place. It's taken place all over the world. Most notably in Fiji. That's where the past 16 seasons have been, including 48. If I'm correct. I'm not fact checking everything, but my Survivor knowledge is pretty extensive in my head. So, if there was ever like bar trivia Survivor night, my team would win. I could probably go alone and win. That's how confident I am in my Survivor knowledge. I watch podcasts, listen to podcasts, I watch YouTube channels. There's like Peridium, Rob has a podcast, the Purple Rock podcast. There's just so many good Survivor channels. If you're interested, they go like more in depth than I'll probably ever go. Because these people are like hardcore gamers. Um, I've always thought about starting a Survivor podcast, but I don't. I mean, my sister watches it, and some of my friends watch it, but I don't think they're like as diehard fans as I am. I'm like a super, super fan. I've contributed to Survivor Wiki anonymously. If people get things wrong on Wikipedia or anywhere else, I'll go in and edit them. Like, I'm a true I'm Survivor crazy. Um, so it usually, yeah, they take place across the world. Right now, it's stationed in Fiji, which I think is pretty cool. It's a great location. I hope for the 50th season that they go somewhere else just for fun. It would be really cool to see them go to India. They've never been to India or Sri Lanka. I think that would be a great location. The seasons are typically 39 days or 26 days. Post pandemic, they have been 26 days because production costs, it's cheaper and they don't necessarily need 39 days, but I think it's harder when they do 39 days. But 26 days is super impressive too. I think anyone that goes on Survivor is very impressive. Except quitters. I don't respect quitters. Medical emergencies, family emergencies, I understand. But not, yeah, I don't respect people that, like the girls that quit day 28 out of 39. What? Crazy. You have 11 days to go, and you're quitting the game. Bonkers. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. And then there's 16 to 20 people. Most seasons have 18 people. Older seasons mostly did 16, and then they did like returnee seasons are usually 20. Um, Unless there's only a couple of returnees, then they're usually 18. And I think people have been 18 to like, the oldest person was probably in their 70s, so people of all ages go on. They used to do a lot of recruiting, but now it's really, because Survivors had kind of a resurgence in popularity. Surge in popularity. Because during the pandemic, a lot of people watching it. Kiki Palmer is a big fan of Survivor. I think that's really cool. I love Kiki Palmer. But it's gotten kind of a new popularity, which I'm just so happy because for a while I thought it was going to get canceled after season 40, which was a fantastic season. I thought it was going to get canceled, which would have been a fine ending, but I was not ready to let go. But yeah, so and they're competing for $1 million, which is a lot of money. So people do some crazy things on that island to get that money. And then one season, there was an all-winners season that was $2 million that they got, which is pretty cool. And there were so many twists. There's been hidden immunity idols, which were introduced in season 11 in Survivor Guatemala. And then since then, they've been. I think sometimes there's too many idols in a season. There's been idol nullifiers. You have to. Okay, so basically, okay, I'm like not explaining this well. I keep going off on tangents. But so they start in 2 to 4 tribes, and then they compete in challenges. Some are for rewards, and then some are for immunity. And the tribe that wins immunity doesn't have to vote someone out, but then the tribe that loses has to vote someone out. In some cases, 2 people out. And there can be a lot of drama because, people scramble. Some people are so secure they think they're not going home. When you feel secure, that's when you should know you're in trouble. Because usually that means you're getting blindsided. And then people vote each other off. And if you play an immunity idol after the votes have been cast, all the votes against you don't count. And then sometimes there's extra votes. Some tribal councils, there's like way too many idols. They got kind of carried away on some seasons. I think each starting tribe should have idols, and then maybe an idol at the merge, and that's it. Because I think idols can be used correctly, but most of the time they're not used correctly. And I think people's social and strategic games without using idols are usually more impressive, but are kind of undermined in the eyes of the juries. I think they put too much focus on big game moves, personally. I think looking at someone's whole overarching story and journey throughout a season is really important, but sometimes juries overlook that. So the last, like, gosh, 7 to, I think one season had like a 16-person jury because of a twist. Um, Everybody that was voted out was eligible to be on the jury, and so at the end of the game, at final tribal council, 2 to 3 people make it, and the jury of people they voted out have to vote for them, have to vote for a winner. Sorry, I think I'm speaking like really loudly into the mic. I'm seeing it like spike sometimes, and then I think that's the time that you like can't hear my words because it's too loud and the microphone like crashes. Um, but yeah, um, I'm gonna rewatch season 1. I think if you're interested in Survivor, you should start with season 1 and watch it in order, because if you go out of order, I guess you could start with Survivor 41 and watch the newest 7 seasons, but you'll miss out on so many good strategic moves and so many cool challenges, so many great characters. I think you should go in order from season 1 on. And some seasons are probably skippable, but I think you should watch all of them, personally. Because then, if you watch a returnee season and there's someone on there you don't know, then you have to go back and like research them and you could spoil something. So I think you should go in spoil free, start season 1, and watch all from there. It might take a while. There's usually like 13 to 16 episodes a season. But yeah, I'm gonna rewatch from season 1. Season 1 is in Borneo, and it had a very interesting winner. But my next episode in this series will be all about Survivor Borneo, so I'll talk more about that in that video. Whoops. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about this with you all, and hopefully you somewhat enjoyed this. I'll talk more about the mechanics of the game, more about challenges, social aspects, my favorite players. I'll talk more about that. But this is just gonna be a little intro into my Survivor obsession. It would actually be really cool to like interview someone in ASMR that was on the show. I will say, I did meet someone who hooked up with a guy that was on Survivor South Africa, which is a different version of Survivor. Australian Survivor's really good. South African Survivor's really good. I think all versions of Survivor are good. There's actually a season in Australia that's airing in July, I believe, that features Australian Survivor contestants and then contestants from around the world. And some of my favorite players from the United States version are on it, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I encourage you to go watch season 1. No prob if not. You don't have to, but it'll provide more context into the series. So if you're interested, I think you should check it out. It's on Paramount Plus. You can honestly probably find some of the DVDs at the store or at movie rental places. The library might have some. You could probably find some on YouTube. Yeah, you might know someone you know might have them. I have so many Survivor DVDs, it's insane. But yeah, I don't know when the next Survivor themed episode will be, or episode, video will be, but I'm really excited to be sharing this with you all. And, yeah, I don't really care if people watch watch this or not. I love showing people Survivor. I love getting people into Survivor. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you really soon.